Welcome to another episode of Makeup with Drishna. Today, we are going to be showing you how you can achieve a glamorous, glittery, smoky eye look perfect for a night out. So let's get started. Before you do any kind of makeup, the first thing you need to do is to make sure that your face is well cleansed and moisturized. So we'll start off with a primer. This one is a pore filling primer, and what pore filling primer does is it blurs out your pores so that you get a very smooth canvas, and it also makes sure that your foundation lasts very long. While applying the pore filling primer, you should gently pat it around your T-zones because that is where you get larger pores. Now we will let the primer set in, and we'll first do the eyes. Like we applied primer on our face, we will be applying a primer on our eyelids as well. This will make sure that the eyeshadows pop more and the colors will look much more pigmented. So I'm just applying a little bit of eyeshadow base, and using my fingers, I'm just gonna blend it. Now we will use a compact powder, and using a brush like this, I will just set the eyelids. This will make sure that the eyeshadows that we are going to apply later will blend much more easily. The first eyeshadow we are going to be using is this light brown color. We'll use this on the crease as our transition color. So wherever your crease starts, you just apply this like so. If your eyelid space is really small, you can just pull it like this and just blend it onto the crease. You should never start with a darker color because it will be very difficult to blend. Always use colors that are similar to your skin tone. So we will repeat the same thing on the other eye as well. Now we will move to a darker color, so we will be using a little bit darker brown, which is this one. I'm taking a smaller brush this time because I want to concentrate the darker colors only on the outer corners. So just apply this, and I'm using a circular motion to blend it. I'm repeating the same thing on the other eye as well. Since this is a nighttime look, we are going to be using glitters. So for the glitter to stick on, first we'll be using the same eyeshadow base that I used earlier. Just dab a little bit of eyeshadow base. Now just carve out your lids with this. Now using your fingers, just pull the lids a little bit. Just dab it. So before the eyeshadow base dries out, you need to quickly apply the glitter. So I'm going to be using this goldeny glitter. I'm just going to take a little bit of it on my fingers, and I'm just going to tap it on the areas that we apply the eyeshadow base. glitter can be really messy sometimes, so always keep a wipe handy so that you can wipe off the excess glitter. Our one eye is almost done. Now I'm gonna do the same thing on the other eye as well. I'm gonna use an eyeshadow base first and just dab it a little bit. Now I'm just gonna carve out the inner corners and just blend it. And before this dries out, I'm just gonna quickly use the same thing. As you can see, we have a lot of fallouts here, so I'm just gonna wipe it off. Make sure to be very gentle because your skin under the eyes is really thin. Now we are going to use a darker brown on the outer corners, so I'm going to use this one and just put a dot. Now I'm going to take a fluffy brush and just blend this. When blending the outer corners, you can just mimic the V shape so that your eyes look a lot bigger. Now I'm gonna do the same thing on the other eye as well. I'm gonna just take this and do the circular motion. Now for a touch of smokiness, I'm going to be using a black eyeshadow and just taking a little bit and just only on the outer corners. Now I'm going to use an eyeliner to line the eyes. Now we are going to move towards our base, but before moving to our foundation, we will be using a color corrector. We will use the color corrector underneath our eyes because that's where we tend to have darker circles. And we'll just use a tiny amount and just blend it with our fingers again. The orange color corrector cancels out the darkness under the eyes. For foundation, I'm going to be using a medium coverage foundation, and this one in particular will last the whole night. Now I'm gonna take a beauty blender. You should always dampen your beauty blender before blending, and I'm gonna dab the foundation all over the face. You should never drag your beauty blender across your face. You just need to tap it because that is how you can get the coverage and it won't look cakey as well. Also, don't forget to blend your foundation onto the ears and also on the neck. Now I'm going to be using a concealer underneath the eyes. And using the same blender, I'm just going to blend it. Now to set the base, I'm going to be using some loose powder. First, I'm going to apply it underneath the eyes. And then I'm going to be using this on the smile lines where the foundation will crease easily. I'm gonna leave the setting powder just like that for a while. Now we will move towards contouring. For contouring, I'm gonna be using this cool brown contour. And first, I'm gonna be using it on the cheekbones and along the hairline. So while contouring or bronzing, you can just do this 3 shape. So this will cover the perimeters of your face along the jawline, the cheekbones, and your forehead. This will give a dimension to your face. I'm also going to use the same contouring powder along the nose area. Now I'm going to use a clean fluffy brush and just gonna wipe out the excess loose powder that I applied earlier. Now to bring back some color to the face, I'm going to be using a blush. Smile. And I'm going to apply it on the apples of the cheeks. Now to get that glow, I'm going to be using a highlighter and using a small brush. First, I'm going to be using it tip of the nose and along the bridge of the nose. Also, I'm going to apply this on the highest point of the cheeks. Before we apply false lashes, we will smoke out the lower lash lines. So I'm going to be using the same brown color that I used on the lids. Because we are using a darker color, we will only focus it on the outer parts. Now I'm going to use another brush and just slightly blend it out. Sorry. We're going to do the same thing on the other eye. To complete the eye looks, I'm going to be using some false lashes. While the false lashes are drying, we will be moving towards the brows. Since she has really thick brows, we don't need much. I'm just gonna lightly fill in. Our eyebrows are also done. Now we will be moving towards the lips. Since we have gone quite glam on the eyes, we are gonna be using a really nude color on the lips. I'm gonna be taking this nude pencil and first line the lips. Once we are done lining, I'm just gonna fill it with the same pencil. Now we will top it off with a gloss. So this is how you can achieve this glamorous nighttime party look. We will be back with another look on the next episode. Till then, stay tuned.